I don't know if you've been on a pod before.
You wearing wool socks?
Yeah, bitch.
It's cold. Do you got a pumpkin cream cold brew right there?
I don't do pumpkin.
Oh.
Are we like on?
Well,
Do you just edit?
yeah,
this?
I just edit out the shenanigans at the beginning usually. Talking to yours.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, we sound the same.
No, we don't.
I always get paranoid.
Sound like me, you sound like you.
Well, so they're not omnidirectional, so it's just like an open mic. Like you have to talk right into the top of it.
I went to school for electronic media. I know what omnidirectional is. What's this?
This is a dynamic mic.
Yes.
I thought you went to school.
That was like 5 years ago.
So
you know how much weed I've smoked since then?
Condenser mics are
Condenser!
Those are the pro ones. These are...
Yeah. And Omni's like what you wear, like if you're a pop star.
Right.
And you actually sing live.
Are those the and you can get them in
so
headsets?
You can just basically be like, and it will pick it up most likely.
Yeah. Yeah, pull that bitch closer to you.
Oh. Hold on, I got it. Well, maybe. I still look like a complete...
And then just on the arm, pull that down just a smidge. Boom, perfect.
What if you could like suck dick this way?
Sucking dick that way?
Yeah, like...
Wouldn't it be weird? Because you could sit in this chair.
Relax.
Like they could stand on the arms of this, right?
They need to kneel or something. Who's standing?
I was thinking somebody like Sean Nafstead.
Who the fuck is that?
Like really, really short. Is he Korean or? I forget. But anyways.
Yes, sorry. I just know him as Sean. Like, just one word.
Right. Sean. Yeah, I guess there aren't really any other Seans. I could have just left it at that.
He's not even that short, though, is he?
He's
not like Ryan
me.
Call short.
Ooh, there you go, Ryan Call.
But Ryan Call supposedly has a big dick.
Okay, well, there you go then. So that's the perfect candidate. He stands on the arms of the chairs and just flops his fruit by the foot right into your face. I imagine it tastes like CrossFit.
I love him. He's not in CrossFit.
But he works out a lot, though.
He's like 4 pounds. What is he working out?
He's throwing boxes now.
I'm getting so fat.
Dude, I'm legally obese.
You are not. Stop telling people that.
I weigh the most I've ever weighed in my life.
I think Chris is too. Not me. But I had
you're doing
babies,
great.
so.
I'm just like super depressed and don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
It's just really hard for me to want to do stuff.
The funny thing is, like, so I'm sober and like I'm really motivated, but all of the shit that I'm motivated requires me to sit for hours on it. So I'm not doing shit, but so it's really weird. So it's like this, I'm doing a bunch of stuff, but physically I'm not moving.
And he snacks like crazy. He even set a reminder on our phone at night at 11 p.m. It says stop fucking eating. But I have a better idea than that stupid reminder. I have a taser, so I think every time he tries to get out of bed to get a snack, I get to tase him. Yeah.
I ate chocolate-filled crepes in bed last night.
Well, because you're not drinking anymore, and I don't know what else you were doing, but now your brain just wants other pleasure stuff. So
yeah. Yep. That's exactly it.
Which is food, not other pleasures.
I'm probably not getting banged.
Well, my dick has turned into an innie because the fupa is starting to spill out.
Yeah, I can't even see mine anymore. I think it's gone. Yeah, it's. I need to do something.
Yeah.
Are we?
I'm gonna do an intro.
Okay, let's do an intro before I keep
you
going.
Shut up now. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Chris.
We've got a massive update.
It's not massive. Don't get too excited about it.
We're selling.
I'm such a downer.
We're selling our house.
We have our house for sale. So this cool room will be in a different house, hopefully. Our other offer got accepted on the other house, contingent on us selling this fucking house. And I've done a lot of work the last couple of days. I have not gotten a lot of sleep. I finally had to take a medication last night to make me sleep because I was getting delirious and angry, and I'm still angry. Not delirious. Well, maybe a little delirious.
Who are you talking to?
I'm just looking because I'm so delirious. I'm just
sure. That makes sense.
So fingers crossed. I don't know, if you believe in God, prayers, anything you can give us. Money, if you want to give us money.
Positive energy.
I'm spraying apple spray throughout my house to make it seem more inviting. Someone just buy my fucking house. It's a great house. I love this house. I love this house, but I'm ready we had a lot of trauma happen in this house.
Mm-hmm.
2 suicide attempts in this house, lots of awful things. We're ready for a new chapter in our lives. So
yes, 100%. Maybe we don't let people know that there was 2 suicide attempts because that might deter
erase
them.
that.
Yeah.
There was just we've been in this house for 10 years. It's just a lot goes on in 10 years, and we're not more mature but older. And
I'd say we are more mature.
They're about the same, but now we're ready for a bigger house, and we make more money now, and yeah. I want my grandbabies in that house.
Well, it just financially just so happens to work out really well in our favor. Like what our house is worth and what we're able to put down on the new house. We're super lucky that's going on.
So buy my house.
Well, you're hot and I love you.
I don't feel so hot. I feel gross.
Today's guest, this is an editor's note. I'm gonna bleep all this out. This guest is a feminist.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to bleep all that out, guys. But today's guest, I'm unbelievably excited. So the first time I talked to him, I remember him being just so gay to me, and it was the funniest thing ever. Because I was like, we were constantly trying to get comedians on the show, and
I'm talking about your little thing in Monticello.
you're gonna need to shut up because I haven't introduced you yet.
Hurry and get to it.
Jesus fucking Christ!
All right, fine. Iowa's finest, ladies and gentlemen, Riley Cosgrove.
I am Iowa's finest. Thank you for.
Are you from Iowa?
Yes, unfortunately. But okay, so hold on. Before we get into like when you decided that you were going to be bi again because you met me. No, yeah, I am from Iowa, but I just drove here and I feel like I'm in Alabama. So I don't want any Minnesota people to just ever talk shit about me being from Iowa again. It's just disgusting.
There are little towns out, like my in-laws live in a tiny little town by a lake, and it's like they didn't even close their bar really down during the whole close down thing. No one wears masks in it. No one the grocery store here, I walked in and nobody wore a mask except me, my daughter, and the people working. Everyone walking. I'm like, what the
And
hell?
all of the farmers have bought these huge pieces of plywood and spray painted honk if you love Trump. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. The whole drive to their place. It's like, where am I?
It's bad. I just hope they're just being very loud and boisterous.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in South Dakota, Nebraska, the lake that my parents have a cabin on because we're white, is both sides. Like Nebraska's one side, South Dakota's the other side. And we were out on Labor Day weekend and there was, so Saturday and Sunday, there was like boats with Trump shit on it. I mean, it's really nuts. And I think being from rural America gives me like extra perspective. Because I think if you're from a city, you're just like, okay, they're just trash and stuff.
Right.
But for me, it's like, oh my God, like these people are really, they're just dumb. I'm sorry, but I can say that because I'm from there, so I don't really give a fuck.
But even intelligent people that support him, I'm like, what is your logic? Like, I get it. You've been a conservative forever and you believe in those beliefs. He's a piece of crap.
See, and the people,
like, you can't even, how can you support somebody who blatantly lies about shit and treats people like garbage?
And just doesn't, like, I feel like people in rural America, like, they don't even understand like what them voting for Trump is like doing to this country and like the security of the world and the security of our planet. Like, this election is really like it. I mean, seriously, like if Trump wins again, we're fucked.
Yeah.
The environment's fucked.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court's fucked.
Oh yeah.
We're fucked. And it's probably not going to end good because I don't see a lot of people in America putting up with, not having an abortion or not having gay rights anymore or whatever crazy shit they're going to pull because they're going to fucking pull it. If they have 7 justices on the bench, they're going to do everything because like this is what they've been. This is like what Mitch McConnell and Republicans have done. Like this isn't a coincidence, with public education, them starting to like slash that in the 80s and 90s, like this is what they want. They want people to be dumb. Because now look, they literally like, even with this like stuff that came out last week with Trump saying like these, I can't even keep up with this. So what did he say about the soldiers being losers?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what else? And then he downplayed these people don't care because in their mind they're like, it's not true.
Well, on top of that,
how do you fight with that?
I know.
They've already
and then
accepted.
You can prove them. You can give them the research, the actual research,
his recorded tape.
But they're like, nah. They edited it. They made it sound like, or they say stupid shit. They don't want to believe it.
They're crazy. And even if Biden wins, which fucking hope he does. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah. I'm like worried about what these people are going to do. And also, they're not going away.
Right.
So the next fucking election, what? They're going to have some crazy like Tucker Carlson or some horrible person. They will. Fucking mark my words. They will have and I was always like, you know, I grew up in a very Democrat family, even though I was from fucking hell. Yeah. But like I've always like I just didn't understand when people like don't support Democrats or like vote Libertarian or whatever. I'm just like I've never got it. I'm like you're just a fucking idiot. Now I want like more parties just because I don't want to keep doing this every 4 years.
Right.
If this is what we're up against, like can we create another party where maybe some moderate people will come over?
Yeah.
Because I have heard of like Republicans saying they're not voting for him again.
Yeah.
Like I think like when you said intelligent people, I was like, God, is there any intelligent people left? Because I think I guess
I should say like college educated people, but that doesn't. I mean, or even
Well, I've said this a billion times, but people wanted to vote for him. There were people who, under rational minds, wouldn't ordinarily vote for somebody like him, but they hated Hillary so much that they went that way. And now that all this shit is happening, they're looking for reasons to validate. Like, I didn't make a mistake. It's instead of just saying, hey, look, that guy is, even though you voted for him, it's okay to say, oh man, I didn't know he was this bad. I didn't know it was going to be this bad, and just move on. But there's people who feel like they have to convince everybody else that they made the right choice, and like that they're not a dumb person. They don't want to give that way. So that's why the people that I see that are continuing to support him, it's because they don't want to admit that they made a mistake.
I'm open when I make mistakes.
He's
just an off. And then how
always am like, if I'm wrong, I'm like, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And the thing that makes me so upset too is like, I know a couple of people who will probably still vote for him, and they're like, we support, LGBTQ rights, this and this, and it's like, no, you really don't. At the end of the day, you don't. If you're going to vote for him, no. Okay, if you don't believe in abortion, whatever. But that's not your choice. Like that's
why are we running like literally these people who only vote Republican for abortion? Like that's all that matters.
That's all
for real. All that fucking matters.
Yep.
Really? I can't. And so yeah, people have got to vote, and they've got to vote for Biden. And I've heard a lot of people like, especially in comedy, there's a lot of people, I'm not gonna name names, but they're like, oh, I'm a libertarian, white dude. Like,
oh
white
God,
dude shit.
The libertarian bullshit.
I've heard some of them though say they're voting for Trump, and this is like voting for Biden. This is the first time they've ever like voted for a major political party. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you're like here now, but like, like we could have used you like the last 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
I've never understood that.
Yeah,
like you're not cool. If you're voting third party, you're not cool. You're not a badass bitch. You're not like a you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
Like you're just a fucking idiot.
And then the thing like,
and I'm a fucking idiot. So if I'm telling you you're a fucking idiot, you're in trouble. You're
really an idiot then. One thing that makes me upset too is when they like, I feel like the only thing that these people have to argue about Biden is that he sniffs little kids. I'm so tired of seeing that shit. It's like, but did he ever get charged with legit sexual assault? Like, how many accounts has Trump been charged with? But they brush that. They're like, nah, that's not real. He made fun of a disabled person. Nah, let's just push all this aside. Why is that okay to push all that aside? You post these pictures of Biden smelling some person's hair or whatever.
And why did they freak the fuck out on Bill Clinton and try to get him out of office? And then like, it's just crazy. They're fucking crazy. Know. And people still vote for them. I don't get it. This is the only logic. And then let's move on from this topic because no one wants to hear this.
Well, I'm glad.
And it's literally consumes my life. Like my therapist and I, like this is half the time. And sometimes she's like, I feel like we should be talking. I'm like, well, nothing else is really going on because we're just in a weird like limbo period. But basically, the only reason I can come up with why people still support him is, I think some people who live in rural America don't like their lives clearly, and instead of like taking responsibility for it or trying to change it, they see Trump as like someone who's hateful and is trying to tear down other communities. So they're like, it's like that logic, like, well, if I'm going to be miserable, I want everyone else to be miserable.
Oh, sure.
It's like the kid who like ruins the field trip for the whole class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's like the only logical thing, because it doesn't seem to be, or like you're just a rich, horrible person, or you just straight up hate minorities. I mean, that's literally, and like a lot of people from like rural America, they literally think that minorities are like handed shit.
That's what I was going to say.
And it's nuts. I'm like,
it's not.
what?
It's not that they hate minorities. They're just willfully ignorant towards what's actually going on, because they go, I don't hate minorities. So I don't think it actually exists. I don't think there's racists anymore. I think there's a bunch of snowflakes. Like, I hear shit like that all the time. It drives me absolutely crazy, because you can't talk to one black person and they'll tell you the amount of shit that they've had to put up with.
And it's not even just them. It's what their parents went through and their grandparents and before that. Like, they just don't fucking get it. They don't get it. Yeah. And it's just a lack of public school education, I guess. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But let's fucking hope it changes over. I mean, I said I wanted to change the topic, but now I'm like freaking out. What am I going to talk about? Because like,
oh, don't you worry.
What else have I been doing?
I got you.
I think it's hard too, because social media, it's all there all the time. So it's hard to, yeah.
Yeah, it's got it.
I'm glad this was the first thing though, because I honestly,
how could I not talk about it? I just drove here and saw like 75. Like, to me, when I see a Trump sign, that like, you might as well have a swastika out. I'm serious. I look at it, I'm like,
I mean, those alt-right movements were like sedentary. They were almost done. And then when they saw Trump, that's another thing that people don't realize. Like, when he says stuff, somebody who voted for him goes, well, I'm not going to go grab somebody by the pussy. Right? So they have that mentality. The same thing with the willful ignorance towards minorities. They also think that there's no way that alt-right movements are going to do anything. They haven't been able to do anything. But then you see the actual motivation that they get, because they say, yeah, now our voice gets to be heard. He said that we're good people. There was good people on both sides. Like,
what about this? The thing that really, like, I was really low. I mean, I'm not a suicidal person because I'm pretty agnostic. Like, I'm pretty sure this is it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think there's an afterlife or anything.
Yeah, if you need somebody to tell you that nothing happens when you die, I'm your guy.
Yeah. So I'm not going to kill myself, but like, so when he was defending that shooter in Wisconsin, and then I don't have like, I call them just straight up white trash, because this is what they are to me. I don't have people like that. After the Trump election in 2016, I did
cleansed out.
Yeah, I don't deal with that. I don't need you in my life. If that's how you think. I think you're fucking disgusting. But other people were talking about how people were defending that kid, and I'm just like, so now what? It's okay to go kill Democrats?
Yeah.
That's what that says to me.
So they think that because protesters had tried to take that kid's gun, that's why it was okay. But if you're fighting for your life, if you think that someone's going to shoot you, of course you're going to try and take their fucking weapon.
And it's like a fucking AK-47. It's not even like that's the even more infuriating. Like, the gun thing, it's not even like, like handguns or whatever, which is like usually used in like gang violence and stuff. It's like these fucking white people who have military grade weapons. Why is that okay or normal?
My Second Amendment right, that's why. My dad's an retired officer, and he still is like, whatever, shotguns for hunting, a handgun. There's no reason anyone needs assault rifles.
None at all. It's just, I don't understand it, and I just really hope, with years going by, hopefully, because more of these fucking old assholes will die off. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And if this is any like brightness from all this. My dad is that thing. That constellations.
Yeah, constellations.
Yeah.
Yes.
My dad is 67, white, old school.
That's my type.
He's married. I don't know if anything works anymore.
Whatever.
But
I'll make
he
it work.
was very conservative growing up, and me and my brothers are not. And then through everything that he has seen, he's completely turned his thoughts on everything. He is very much like the vote no stuff that was going on. He called me and had me and my brother sit down like, how should I vote for this? Like, I'm old. It doesn't make any difference to me. And we told him, like, he goes, this is going to affect your kids, kids and all that. And we told him how to vote. And he's like, absolutely. And he's all about Biden. He hates Trump. He didn't vote for Trump in the first election.
Because I think a lot of Republicans did vote for Trump. Which I'm not I'm happy if you come over to our side. That's great. But I'm such a bitch. I'm not forgiving you.
No. And my father-in-law is
really, was Hillary Clinton that bad? That's another thing I can't deal with. I'm like, why? Give me 2 reasons.
Yeah.
And don't include her husband and don't include her vagine.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, obviously she wasn't a good candidate, clearly. Because
But that's what that party needs to start doing, is finding good candidates then. Honestly, do some background checks on your people, because everybody else does background checks.
Also, she just has 30 years of baggage. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it was
just
not a good idea.
Gonna work.
Well, so one of my Mara, our friend Mara, was talking about how the way that voting goes now, it's a lot of dynasty thinking. Like somebody who worked for Obama or has a tie to Obama has to be the next candidate, or there's all of these things that there has to be some history of them with the president for them to be president.
Well, what about Fuckface McGee? What was his history?
Fuckface McGee.
Trump.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. People were like, yeah, we don't want the dynasty anymore.
I understand. I see that too.
But I'm saying when people vote for candidates or are looking for candidates, Democrats are super guilty of that dynasty thinking.
Oh yeah, I don't think Democrats drive me nuts too, but I'd rather have a fighting chance at a future than just be I'm gonna vote for a third party. I'm not those people. I literally want to strangle them. I'm get out, go live in Russia then.
Yeah,
it'd be fine if they gave the third party candidate if they leveled the playing field. If they said platform. They have to they have to have the same amount of exposure that these two parties have. Otherwise, yeah.
And people are I don't like the system. I'm well, you're not gonna fix it by just no.
Yeah.
I know. It drives me up a wall, and I don't really know what to do.
Well, that's
why
not
having it's the worst. It's COVID, and then not having comedy, and this election.
Yeah.
And my weight gain. It's just all becoming too much.
Yeah. Literally.
But in the last month, I've realized not having comedy is really fucking me up.
So you use that mainly as your coping?
Well, because I thought about it, because for the first couple months, I think we just really didn't know what was going on. And I was kind of whatever. Oh, I don't have to go see some comics. Sad. I think if I was having a shitty week, let's say, and, it's horrible. I have horrible self-esteem. I just feel like shit. And then you go do comedy or something and you kill. It completely can change my mood around in a second. And now I don't have that validation.
Oh,
I don't have that existence validation. Because I'm gay, so it's constantly seeing all these people on Instagram, that with their 8-packs and they're all on their vacations with all their friends that all look the same. And they all look like they're having such lives, but it's so superficial. But now it's so I would always be well, at least I have some sort of talent and brain, and I don't need to work out for 3 hours a day to get fucking to be accepted. I mean, that's literally where we are in the gay community. That's a whole nother fucking can of worms. I mean, men are just horrible. Let me just say that. They're just horrible. It doesn't matter if they're gay or whatever. I say this and say it. It doesn't matter. They're fucking horrible. They're disgusting. And I don't know how I got off on this tangent, but basically that was my validation source, was doing comedy.
Yeah.
And now it's gone. So
yeah,
I just am doing my job, my working, and it's just not fun.
Have you tried any of the virtual stuff?
I did in the beginning, and it's rough.
Yeah.
But I might have to start like just putting stuff on YouTube or something. My roommate has like the software to do it.
Okay.
So I might just start doing that, and I'm gonna have her help me because I don't know what else to do. And like I like am like and now it's become like the world of TikTok.
Yeah.
And like I'm not like very good. Like I have thought of some that I should probably just like try to make. Maybe they would be like, but like I can't think of like some of these are like really creative. I'm like, fuck.
I know.
What the
Crazy.
fuck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
All those years I spent performing on stage were useless. I should have just been.
It's pretty bad
TikToking.
when my 8-year-old almost has more TikTok followers than I have Instagram followers.
Yeah. It's a weird world.
That is a
Yeah.
weird world.
I don't care if there is a TikTok. I just hope that doesn't become like entertainment.
exactly. Well,
Like I hope like once this is over or whatever, we go back to like having live shows. I would hope
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
But who the fuck knows? Maybe I don't know.
maybe we got to move to Texas.
Why? What's there?
They've opened stuff
Trump
up.
supporters?
That's why Rogan went there.
Well, Rogan went there because he didn't want to live in Los Angeles anymore, which I understand.
But he's also able to do shows in Texas.
Well, yeah, because he can go.
Because they don't believe COVID exists
Yeah.
in
Also,
Texas.
his base. No offense to him, is like
Or
white
all the
dudes.
offense. He's plenty popular that it's not going to affect.
Yeah, like he can go to like, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and like
Yeah.
it will
But
be
I mean,
successful,
that's like there's comics going to like these
I have
states where
heard that.
the laws are more lax.
I mean, I was gonna move like this spring. I was gonna move to probably New York City before this.
That
all
would
happened.
make so much sense.
Yeah, I need to. Well, that's the other place. And I'm not like saying like I just need to get out of Minnesota. It's not. I love Minnesota. I've lived here for over 3 years. I love Minneapolis. Like, once I like go to. Like once I like have lived somewhere, like it's like I claim it. So like I'll always, but like I was ready to move on, and I thought like, okay, I think I've done everything I can do with comedy here. The people that like me, and the people that don't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just need to go. And also, I don't mean to sound like a huge bit. Hold on, I don't mean to sound like a stuck up because anyone who truly knows me, I have like the worst self-esteem and think I'm horrible. And like before I go on stage, almost every time I have a panic attack. Almost every time because I'm so nervous. But I just don't think my type of comedy and my type of is right for Minnesota.
That's really interesting because you're such a confident person.
Ugh.
Like at least on surface level, like to me, you've always appeared to have such confidence, and I admire that so much. Like I've never gotten any timid vibes from you, and it's not.
That's just years of like.
Fake it till
Is
you
that a
make it.
self-defense thing?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, like in life, I'm very like abrasive and brash, and that's like a defense mechanism because I'm actually like, I'm not like, I don't really give a fuck if you don't like me. Just have a good reason.
Okay.
Like some of these people in Minnesota have heard me say like one thing, and they think I'm like such a bitch, and I'm like, that's not even a people. I think, and maybe this is my fault, but honestly, I don't really care. Like I'm so like brash and like in your face sometimes, and people are like, "Oh, he's mean,"
Yeah.
and it's like I'm actually really super nice.
Yeah. I've always found it hilarious.
Yeah, well, if people who can handle it find it hilarious, but
Yeah.
it's just interesting. I just was ready to move on, and now it's like I don't really know
What moving on looks like.
where I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So I'm just chilling here and doing my job for now, and yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy I'm employed. I'm not, I feel for these other comics who have really been like on, like, especially people who did it full time. Because that fucking sucks.
Well, and our scene was blowing up
I
big time.
understand. Like,
And especially coming up on holidays, how many of those full-time ones did like holiday company parties?
Yep.
That's where they got a lot of money from, and now that's probably not going to
The
happen.
corporate gigs.
Yeah.
I had my first like contracted gig that was supposed to be in April,
Okay.
and it was like a pretty good amount of money for me, and it like all that I'm not gonna say how much I was supposed to make, but it was supposed to be my biggest month ever.
Was it in Minnesota?
Yeah, I think so. I think all of it was in Minnesota. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gone.
Yeah, it's
which I'm not. Again, I have a job, so I'm
Well, but you don't need to.
Yeah,
don't need
but
to
people
apologize
are bitches,
for that.
and they're gonna be like, spoiled bitch.
Like I always say, like the adage, there's starving children in Africa, doesn't mean that I'm gonna lick every single plate clean that I eat off of.
Yeah,
like that's just another world. I'm not a part of that. So whatever is bringing me down or fucking my day up, everybody's threshold is different, and it's only applicable to what's going on in your life. Mm-hmm. So those things, it's okay to like feel like, give it the weight that it deserves. I say that a lot. Like if it truly, brings you down, then fuck what other people think. Like I don't think that you should have to make excuses as to why.
Well, and I don't know,
maybe
it's just because I'm an empathetic person. I don't know. I know people are my job, what I do is like pretty, I'm basically like a social worker for an organization.
Oh, wow.
So I see like a lot of not great shit. So it's opened my eyes a lot. And that's why I get so angry. I mean, people can do whatever the fuck they want, whatever. But it's just so angry when I go on Instagram. These people are like just living like nothing's going on. I'm like, what? Whatever.
Yeah. It's hard not to be jaded towards that shit.
I like social media, but I also hate it. It's a double-edged sword.
Me too.
Like, I think it's a good thing, especially for like someone like us. Like,
yeah,
so we can like get shit out, but people are just assholes, and it just maximizes that to 1,000. I mean, back in the day, we just had to go out in public and deal with people, and now it's like you deal with them in public, you deal with them on the internet. It's just,
and people say things now that they probably would have never said just because they're behind a computer and a monitor, and they don't realize like the shit you say does hurt.
I mean, I will say it to your face. So I mean, I do think like I have thought that I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna say this, would I say this to their face, yes or no? And there's been times where I'm like, I'm not gonna say that because as much as I fucking want to, and I'm in the right.
Yeah.
But yeah, people definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Have fucking.
On top of that, like people who, live a certain lifestyle behind a computer screen or behind a filter. You're able to connect with people who feel the same way. So then you're able to connect with them, and now two of you are being shitty. You know what I mean?
An army of shitty people.
Yeah, so you're able to like commune. You build this community with all of these people who have this, hive mind of fucking crazy thinking.
And then you get those people who only get their news from the Facebook, and you're like,
and that's how we're in this.
That's my grandma
situation we're in now.
Yeah,
because so all the shit I see on my, whatever is all liberal stuff, and then so like, what is one of these fucking idiots out here on this gravel road, like theirs is probably like all like InfoWars and like crazy shit.
Oh my gosh, I've actually never thought of that.
Yeah.
Because I guess mine's like 90% liberal, 10% because I grew up in a small town and I have family members that are very much.
I get Trump ads like fucking crazy, and I don't get it because I like everything I like. Everybody I follow is
maybe
not
I
that
have
way.
Just because it's election season and I just
maybe
like, whatever. But I feel like I haven't really.
But yeah, I've never thought of it that way. Like, what is the stuff? Because I don't see all that.
So like that's why they think it's not true, or they don't even care, or they don't pay attention, or it's confirmation bias. They just get what It's just
Okay, let's do a hard shift. Okay.
Where are we shifting hard to?
We're going to comedy.
Yes.
So you're
R.I.P.
28.
Yeah, I just turned 28. Well, now almost a month ago.
So, did you start doing stand-up?
I started comedy like 2 weeks before my 21st birthday.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird. So I did a little stint in 2012 where I hosted at this dying comedy club in my college town.
Okay.
And I did it a couple weekends. It was fine, but it wasn't really stand-up. It was really just me being on stage for the first time.
Okay.
So then that following summer, I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing this seriously. Or at least I'm going to try it. And I did it, and it went well. So I just kept doing it in Iowa, and I'd have to drive from Cedar Falls, where I went to college, to Cedar Rapids to do just the open mic.
Oh, wow.
And then I would, did a few things around there. But yeah, so that was 2013. And then, so when you were talking about the nervous thing, I guess what made me like a little less nervous was after college I moved to Portland because I thought I knew everything, which thank fucking God I don't live there now. Oh my gosh,
it's just falling apart over there right now.
Probably, yeah. So I like thought I knew everything, and I was like, I'm done with the Midwest. And I'm so, when you're 22, you just think you know everything. And I went there and just got my balls wrapped around a light pole a million times, and just it was a mess. But because it was such a mess, I was doing a lot of comedy.
Okay.
Because I didn't really have a job for like the first 2 months, and I literally had like $5. I mean, it was dire. And so I would just do a lot of comedy, and that made me less nervous because I did it like for like 4 people or, so that made me a lot better.
Okay.
But then I had to move back to Iowa and whatever. But then I moved here 2 years later. So
yeah, what made you want to come to Minnesota?
I was in Iowa, so I'd been in Iowa, I'd been in Cedar Rapids working at a TV station, and I had been there for like a year and a half, so I was like over it.
Okay.
And I wanted to like experience my life again. I mean, when I came back from Portland and lived in Cedar Rapids, I'm like a mopey person, which I tried to change, especially as I'm getting older, because I'm like, this is so stupid. But I was basically just so upset that I had to move back to Iowa and that I failed in Portland and that I had to just be back there.
Sure.
When I thought like I'd closed that door forever. And I saw like other people seemingly, that I graduated from college, like moving to New York and moving to Los Angeles and moving to all these places. And I was just like, fuck. So I like literally just like worked and sat in my apartment by myself. I was really depressed. I didn't want to be a part of life. My whole like thinking was, well, I'm not having a fun time. I'm not having a good, so I'm just like, I just don't even want to be involved.
Okay.
Like the 2016, 2017, like they really just feel like I just don't want to be involved. And then so I came to Minneapolis and finally, like made some friends. But I came to Minneapolis because one of my old coworkers in Cedar Rapids had moved here. And she had a room opening in her house, and my lease was ending in Cedar Rapids, and I was just done.
Sure.
So I was like, fuck it, yeah, I'll come there. I wanted to move to Chicago, but I didn't know anybody.
Oh.
I literally didn't know anybody. Now I know a ton of people, but I just didn't know anyone. So I was like, this seems more safe.
Sure.
So I'll go to Minneapolis. Like just get me to a major city, whatever, like just get me out of here. So I came to Minneapolis, and it's been good. I mean, it's Minnesota.
Right. I
have mixed feelings about Minnesota.
I have. It's pretty definitive. Like I fucking hate it here, but it's good for my kids. And
I just
that's
don't
pretty much
like how in the Twin Cities, it's like everyone still talks to their high school friends. And
that's the whole
everybody
fucking state.
went to U of M,
mm-hmm.
and no one, like, they made like a couple friends afterwards, and like they're like, yeah, half my friends are like from high school or kindergarten or preschool. And I understand I grew up like not like normally like in a small town, but like holy fucking shit, get a life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying you can't be, most of the people obviously I went to school with weren't like me and probably hate my guts, which it's mutual. So. But like, come on, like move out of Minneapolis then, like go experience life. And then it's, and the reason why I say it's because it's annoying because I come from Iowa and I'm trying to make something of myself. And they're like, oh, you're trash. Oh, the electricity down there in Iowa. And it's like, you literally live in the same zip code as your fucking mom and dad. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And so getting into this comedy scene was very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go places like no one would talk to me, which I understand now, but they didn't even know me. So it was like rough getting in, and like it's been rough. Like I didn't have friends for almost like a year, and I still don't really. I mean, I have like a good core group of like gay guy friends. I've kind of like weeded the people out that I don't have interest, because I mean, and just to touch on this, like the gay community is just really superficial.
Oh, really?
And I'm just over it. Especially in a time like right now. Yeah, it's all about like how much money you got, what you can do for me, how big's your dick.
Sure.
It's literally that. I'm like, this isn't a bit.
Oh, really?
It's literally how much money you got, what do you look like, what's your status, your social status,
Oh.
Wow.
And it's just like, I found some good friends, but I'm not interested in that.
Sure.
It's so vapid and gross. And people can say, like, he's just jealous or he's just complaining. But no, I'm just actually grossed out.
Well, I'm curious.
Even if I was able to get my ass to the gym, you know, for 2 hours a day, I still wouldn't fucking hang out with these people. Because, you know, when I go to, like, these people, and well, that's the other thing. I'm like, I love when I'm, like, going to work and I see, like, this ripped white Minnesota dude with his AirPods, which I have AirPods too. I'm not, you know, but you know, I'm going to fucking work and I'm like driving around Bidé-McCoska and there's like all these white people ripped running and shit. And I just want to pull her and be like, why aren't you at work? I know you live in an expensive apartment around here. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm interested. Like, it seems
I'm just bitter.
I was going to say, have you had people turn on you like throughout your life that you thought were people that you could trust?
Definitely when I was younger. I mean, that was literally me growing up. Growing up was weird because yes, I am like this giant faggot, but people were also really upset that my parents weren't from my small town. Oh. And like we came there and then my dad like started to get successful and people were really fucking mean to me. Like I think in the last 2 years as an adult, I've kind of realized how mean they were. And I'm like, that's not okay. And that's probably why my self-esteem is so bad and why I literally people were just rotten. And now, it's gotten better because my parents have been there for a long time. But people were fucking assholes to me. And I understand, especially if you had like a shit home life and then you see like my fucking faggoty ass like coming out of my nice house with nice clothes and like, I get it, but like fuck. It's not my fucking fault.
Well, I mean,
and like it wasn't even just the kids, like their parents were like nasty to me.
Oh man.
And would like say shit about me and like try to it was gross. So I lived with that psychological warfare for, 17 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And whatever.
So
I can't do anything about it now.
But what it makes me curious about is that your mindset seems to be like, I feel bad enough that I don't need more negative shit. So the second that you start to see that negative stuff, your self-defense mechanism kicks in and says, I don't need that shit.
Well, and I'm just like trying to, build a life for myself and build a career and have something that my parents can be proud of.
Sure.
And, something like I'm not going to have kids. So maybe something that like I want to like do things. I want, want to give back to people. I volunteer a lot. I'm not saying this like because I'm saying I'm Princess Diana. I'm not. There's plenty of flaws. But I'm just saying this is what I've found is important to me. Like being hot and, and being, whatever and keeping up with the gay Joneses and that doesn't interest me.
That's really
like, what are you going to do when you're 45?
Yeah. It's just mentally exhausting too. Like it feels like those people are never
also,
even
is this really
satisfied.
what like people who at Stonewall fought for us to all be vapid cunts on Instagram?
Wow.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Is that really it? Is this what like... I'm so happy, all those guys died of AIDS. I'm sure they're really happy that we're all taking PrEP now. And I'm not saying you can have sex. I'm happy we have PrEP, but here's one of the hardest lesson I've learned in my life. And again, so moving to Minneapolis, by the way, was like the first time I really was for real in a gay community.
Oh.
Because like Iowa, I mean, we have them, but like they're all priests. So
okay.
Like I was the gay community. So, and I would like figured like finally I'll be with gay people. And of course I've met some amazing and they're my close friends, but like they're going to be supportive of me. That is not the fucking case at all. Gay, just because someone's a gay, I'm not speaking for, I'm only speaking for men too. Because it's so like, I mean like lesbians are like, like they're the superior race. So like I'm not talking about them. But basically any man and usually fucking white that identifies as gay, just because they're gay does not mean they're gonna have your back or support you. In fact, they're gonna not like you and they're gonna make you your enemy more.
So they seem to be more judgmental.
It's like these women who are Republicans who hate Hillary or hate other women. They don't want to support. It's like,
yeah, that's really interesting.
Because I felt, I mean, maybe I always think like, oh no, but like, I don't think I've been embraced by other gay comics in the scene that much. I don't think they really have. I mean, that's just my feeling.
Okay.
But I feel that way. I mean, I'm friendly with them, but I don't think I've been embraced by them.
Interesting. What about our baby boy Dontrell?
Dontrell and I are in love.
He's the best.
He's different and he's not white. So. So there's that whole, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a baby. Maybe it's me. But I really don't feel like I've been embraced. And I definitely don't feel like I've been, I'm just going to say, like, I'm really bad at, like, mostly everything. I can't do math. Okay. I can't, like, write things. Like, I'm just not good. Comedy is the only thing that I'm good at. Like, I know I'm good. I used to be like, oh, I'm good. But, like, now I'm at the point where I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, I am good. And I know, like, this is, like, running my mouth is what I've done since I was 4. Like, this is perfect. And I don't know if, because I'm not, from Minnesota, and I'm probably going to regret saying all this later. So
I think you just have massive anxiety.
Oh, well, I do. 100%.
Like, everything that you said.
But here's the thing. Here's what I feel. Here's how I feel. Really. Okay. I feel like you straight guys have each other's backs, most of them.
Yep.
And, like, you guys are always giving each other stuff, and which is great. That's awesome. I just, like, see it a lot, and I'm like, I wish I fucking had that. So,
yeah.
And I understand things are, I'm talking about before COVID. Like, I'm not saying now, because, we're all just trying to
survive.
But I was just like, you guys just seem to support each other on the whole. And that just seems to be how comedy is in general.
I would say you're intimidating on the surface.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you're saying all of this stuff.
But what comic isn't intimidating? I mean, there's
a lot of them. Like I'm able to, like, I recognize, like, the darkness within you. And so when you throw shit at people, it's the funniest thing to me, because I recognize the depression and anxiety within you. And so when I see you do these things, I know in the back of my head that home life might not be the best. And that's where I connect with you, is to be like
my home life now.
Well, I mean, like
it sounded like you had a good home life.
What I'm saying, yeah. Well, and what I'm saying is, like, home life may have been too broad of a term. I'm saying, like,
just like life,
appearance wise, being confident at an open mic doesn't mean that you don't go home and cry because you don't have, like, a deeper connection or have anxiety about those things that are lacking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't cry, but I'm just like,
and that's I'm giving examples in the sense that, like, I can tell that you don't carry.
I cry, like, if Taco Bell is closed, or, like, that's
you don't
really
carry this persona everywhere that you go. Like, you're not lying awake in bed and being like, I'm the fucking best.
Oh God, no.
And so that's why I connected with you, because I was
I love, while we're on this topic, let me just say, I love, you do you and good for you, but I love some of these people who have, like, all this confidence in the world, and they're, like, decent and okay. I'm like, wow, I really wish I fucking had that. Like, if I would have went on stage the first couple times and bombed, I would have never done this again.
Really?
I would have said nope. And I understand that was part of the process, but I'm such a fragile little bitch. I think after, like, I probably would have done it, like, a couple more times, and then I would have been like, you know what, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
And I would have quit.
And that's back to the defense mechanisms,
and these
dude.
people, there's some people, God bless them, that just haven't really found their groove, and they keep getting up there, and I'm just like, oh, bitch, I just can't handle that. I fucking would be like, I'm done. This clearly isn't. I'm like that person where, like, if I'm not, like, an Olympic.
Did you say Limp Bizkit or Olympic?
Well, I'm Limp Bizkit's #1 fan. But if I'm not, like, an Olympic, whatever, basketball player, whatever, I'm like, oh, fuck this. Like, I need to be good.
Yep.
It's annoying.
No, our son's like that. If he can't figure it out and do it really great right away, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But then the things does that he's really good at, like, he's really good at. Like, he picked up the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Very quick. Just picked it up. Yeah.
And I think comedy's the only thing that I'm like, I hope I've gotten better. I mean, some people just say I just go up there and say things, which is whatever. But
isn't that what comedy is?
Yeah, that's the impressive part.
I'm just teasing.
No, it's right, though, because I love when people say, like, because I've had people say, like, I've had comics in Minneapolis say, like, you just go up there and say things. I'm like,
that's jealousy, because I've heard you go on stage and like when your set's about to be done, you're like, I didn't do any of my material, but everybody was still laughing their ass off. That's a true comic. Is
yes,
you can go up there.
I have a fucking because I can talk to people,
or you're just good at feeling a crowd and what they're gonna laugh at.
I mean, there's a lot of that too, but I'll let you say. But like the people, you just say things.
I don't see what's wrong with that.
What do you do?
Why? What's wrong with you going up and saying something?
They want me to go up there and be like Jerry Seinfeld and be like
very structured in the way.
Fucking girlfriend.
Yeah,
that's another fucking. And I've made a Facebook post about this. This hasn't happened to me in a while because I think the culture's changed a little bit. But definitely at the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna talk about like my sexuality and sex stuff because one, it's a big part of your fucking life.
Yeah.
Like people are like, why do you have to talk about gay shit? I'm like, okay, but I've had straight guys be like, oh, you always talk about gay shit or penises, and then they go up there and they're like, oh, I jerked off with nacho sauce in my room, and then my fucking girlfriend let me roll on her, and
yeah,
it's just like, okay, dude,
yeah,
sorry,
because I think it makes them uncomfortable.
Probably, I don't give
which
a
is
fuck.
so stupid.
They make me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
yeah.
Shower.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's. Yeah.
I like the cheese sauce thing. Like, do they burn their dicks then on this hot cheese sauce?
Well, it's probably like been sitting in their room for like 3 days. Like that cheese
sauce.
sauce.
Not covered up. Like half the lid's not all the way
like
tight.
That Tostino's cheese
yes.
sauce. That, like it's in, and it was like they were probably like playing Xbox or something fucking stupid, and then like I don't know, and like all these guys have girlfriends, and I'm single. That makes a lot of sense.
Because the cheese sauce, you don't have cheese sauce.
Just
next
like
to your butt.
how are these gross guys like?
Well, I think
I guess I'm not straight. So
I was gonna say, I think the straight community, humor is a form of confidence. Like if a girl sees a guy at an open mic and sees them getting laughs, they're like, oh wow, he's a confident individual. He can do this thing that I would never even dream of. Whereas I'm curious, like in the gay community,
I think when people see me, they're like, "Oh, he's fucking full of himself, and he's a narcissistic bitch, and he thinks he's something fucking special," which like literally could not be farther from the truth. Yes, I think I'm a good comic, but like, can I just like be a comic? Like, do you have, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not full of myself. Like I said, these people who have a lot of confidence, I'm like, wow, your upbringing must have been a lot different than mine.
My favorite thing that you do is roasts. I mean,
well, that roast was fun, and I wrote all of that. So I hope the people that say I just say things can look at that tape and fuck off.
Chris came home from that roast, and he's like, "You got to watch this."
Yeah, my parents even watched it, and they were like, "That's really good."
Oh, dude,
I loved it, and I literally was just at work, and I was just cracking myself up, and I was like genuinely excited. I wrote all that day.
Oh, really?
All of that.
Wow, that's impressive.
I just was like, I mean, that's how I've always been, which is probably why I should have done a little bit better in school. But I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Crunch time.
But you thrive under that pressure.
I think I do, especially for comedy.
I was the same way. I would wait to do my big papers till the day of, and it's like then you get A's on it. So then it feeds in this thing inside you where you're like,
potential spam.
I get that a lot.
It's probably Trump.
It probably is. No, I think they're always from Iowa too, because I saw my Iowa numbers. So I think whatever.
But it feeds into that like, I don't have to. I can do really good if I wait till the day of. So then you're like, fuck it, I'll just put it off, and it'll still be
nervous,
good.
And I was nervous that it was in Monticello, and I was like, is anyone even gonna be there? Like, how's this gonna go?
You were the first person I thought of. I was so embarrassed when there was no one there. I was like, this is what Riley was talking about.
Well, and then I came in. I think I made a comment, and you were like, kind of got snippy with me. And I was like, oh, Riley, be nicer, because sometimes I make comments, and people probably think I'm being serious, but I'm really just like.
Well, I was just in a shitty mood because I had talked it up so much.
Well, here's the thing. It's not your fault, but like a lot of people wanted to come. They just didn't want to drive to Monticello.
Yeah.
That was what I was getting that day. It was like, oh, I don't want to come to Monticello. So I was like, fuck. And then I had to go audition at CCU that night.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, okay, bye. So I had to leave. And I was like, literally like, I told all the comics there what was going on because I didn't want them to think like I was a bitch. Because I'm pretty sure if any of them were in the same situation, they would have done the same thing.
For sure.
Because like it went late.
Yeah.
So I like had to go. Yeah, it was a little late. Like I didn't even get to see Andy's remarks. I had to go. I got to CCU and I got on stage in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
so
wow.
even like, so yeah.
But yeah, I love that you like absolutely destroyed. And it's so funny because so many of those comics were like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
That was the bit. If we're just gonna be open and honest about this roast, that was like I literally left that night kind of annoyed. Not at you, but like these people that were like giving compliments. I'm like, why are you fucking here?
It's a roast.
I hate the state. You're all a bunch of sensitive pussies. I literally made fun of the 35W bridge collapsing. I mean, seriously, you can't get worse than that. So just like, I was weirded out.
It was so funny. Yeah. Chillstrom and I thought I was going to piss myself because it was so fucking funny.
Well, and I just went for Chillstrom really hard. He was the joke was, because I was asking, I didn't know Chillstrom that much.
Okay.
So I think it was Aaron Isaacs. I was like, give me something on him. He's like, he has small legs but an upper body. That's what he told me. So I was like, perfect. So I wrote that down. So I'm sitting at work and I'm like, his legs are as frail and shaky as the 35W bridge. I was like, perfect. It was great. That was like my best joke. What was the other joke that was real good? Well, I've recycled this one into my material about the Malaysian Airlines.
Oh,
that Rita's vagina is like Malaysia Airlines, so like no one's looking for it. Now I've changed that to in the gay community, I'm Malaysia Airlines, like no one's looking for me.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So I had to repurpose that joke because really that was another one I just made up and I was like, that's amazing.
Someone roasted me and said that I
went hard for Rita, mainly her vagina.
Well, we all picked one person that we went.
I think I went hard for Chillstrom and Rita.
I went hard on Keenan just because he's the self-proclaimed roast master.
I don't even think I got to him, and he was like upset. And I was like, have you ever seen a roast on TV? You can't get to everybody. And that's another thing comics were doing wrong. They were literally doing everyone. And I wanted to be like, Poodle. Like, have you ever seen a fucking roast? Some people, you can't get them all.
Pass them.
I only skipped. Did I skip you?
Yeah.
I skipped you.
Chris was pretty upset about that.
Well,
because he loves being roasted.
I love it.
I know. It was hard. Well, there was Chillstrom I had to because he's an asshole, needs to be taken down. Rita I had to just because she's I just had to.
Yeah.
Witzel was there and I went pretty hard for him as well. So I had like people I was like, oh fuck that, you know. So, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that was so much fun, and like the people that did show up, I'm lucky that they were the ones that showed up because they at least knew 90% of the people that were on stage. So we didn't have just random people walking in and not knowing who the fuck was on there. They didn't know Matfield super well, so obviously those jokes didn't go great. But
and I went hard for him, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it's so much fun to me, and
I know I wanted to do one like I was gonna think of having instead of doing thoughts and prayers, I was going to do a roast and have me get roasted, but now, whatever. And Lush is also closed because their owners fired everyone on Facebook. So if you have a stage with a lot of technical elements, call me.
I was hoping that, and I'm going to bleep this name out, but it's a weird time though. Because I mean, there are, and I mean, I've talked about this before, but people who were comics that are now waking up every day and basically having to go to war because our state has been flipped upside down, and especially Minneapolis, like there's such turmoil going on there. Like where are you in Minneapolis?
So I was in St. Louis Park with like a bunch of like straights and they're like
cat.
No, like they'd have like a baby or like they just had their second one. Something I know nothing about or have any interest in. And so I lived there for like 3 years, and then we had to leave because our landlord sold our house for like crazy amount of money, by the way. Not even way overpriced, but some single girl that's like my age bought it, and I'm like, I have like $15. I don't get it, whatever. But so now I live just over the line into Minneapolis. It's called West Calhoun.
Wow.
I'm not crazy about it.
Okay.
But me and my roommate, we're going to move somewhere else when our lease is up in February.
But I mean, when the riots started and protests started, where...
I mean, I went into them.
Oh, you did?
Most of the night.
Really?
Yeah. I was actually in Iowa at my parents when this whole thing went down. And I didn't learn about it because it happened on Memorial Day. I didn't learn about it. And the next day I woke up to my parents' plumbing being like broken and my parents being like, you have to leave because like you can't even pee. I mean, I could pee outside, but like if you have to shit or like you're fucked. So I was like, bye. And so I drove back to Minneapolis and I kind of was learning about it when I got here. And I actually thought it was just an officer involved shooting because it's America.
Yep.
And this is so gay, but I got back to my house and I just like opened my Instagram. And the first thing that was on my Instagram was Madonna. And she had posted the video.
Oh.
And I literally just got into my house, probably took a shadoobie, and was sitting there and I watched it and I was just like everyone else, I was disgusted and mortified and angry. And so I protested like that whole week. I think the only night I didn't go out was Friday because I think I was working that day and something. I was at my apartment, took a nap, whatever. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And they had like blocked off my neighborhood. So the only way I could have gotten out was with a bike. And my bike's like a expensive, like it was like $500 bike. Like it's not
okay.
I wish I had like a shit bike that I could take and then if it gets stolen, then whatever.
Oh, I got you.
I didn't want to take my bike. Like, yeah, especially like with what was going on. But like, this like goes back to, now with, Trump and Republicans defending white teenagers. Like I'm like scared to protest now. And my parents last week were like, we don't want you protesting. Like it's not worth your life.
Yeah.
And I hate it, but I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I supposed to do if 40% of the country thinks that's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, what am I supposed to do?
It's like these people that were bringing their kids and showing them all that. It was great. And then all things turned quickly for the worst. And then, yeah, with these teenage kids being able to just shoot people, it's like.
Yeah, it was nuts. And like that whole week was nuts because I was on the 35W bridge when that semi.
You were?
Yeah. Dude, that was fucking nuts. I Facebook lived it and I sounded like a crazy faggot, but I was like, what the fuck is going on? And everyone was running, and my friend, I was with these like two, we were like, stop, you're gonna stampede us, and we're on a fucking bridge. I have no idea how no one died. I have no idea how no one fell over that bridge because it's a car bridge. So it's not like a pedestrian bridge where the railing's literally like 2 feet. I have no idea. And it was nuts. And then I like went up and I got pepper sprayed and there was a kid next to me and it was nuts. It was fucking nuts. For the first time in my life, I saw like military people and I was like, oh, I'm going to die. God. Like in America, like I literally was like, they're not on my side. Like I'm fucked.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. So these people in small town America, they're like, oh, it's violent protest. No, it's literally not.
No.
It's crazy.
God, that's so wild.
So yeah, that was pretty nuts. Like being from Holstein, Iowa, where it's like so fucking boring and nothing happens to like that. It's like, whoa, okay. Yeah, it was nuts.
God, that's
and
so
like
crazy.
I only got like somehow I think honestly that little girl, she was on her dad's back. I think she got more of the tear gas than I did. Oh. And because I only like got it in my throat a little bit, but these girls that were with us while we were on the bridge, we kind of got separated a little bit. I like met up with them again and they were like on fire because they like had got it all over their skin. Oh. And like the people in neighborhoods were like bringing out sprinklers and shit so people could run through them.
Yeah.
It was just nuts.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, how are you like how are you holding up with all of this?
It's just nuts. I mean, I'm trying like my therapist says to me, she's like, try to be gentle on yourself.
Okay.
Because I'm not gentle on myself. I literally am like, you're a piece of shit and you're ugly and you're fat and your parents should have aborted you.
Yeah, I mean, all
which
of those
I'm like,
things are
I
true,
should have been aborted. This is exhausting. I don't want to do this. I literally scream at my parents like once a week. I'm like, why did you fucking have me? You didn't. I can assure you did not get the return on your investment. Number one. Number two, this sucks. What is the point?
Yeah.
They wanted a straight son that like would hunt and they didn't get that. So I mean my sister's a little dykey, so she's sturdy.
Oh, she's sturdy.
She wears if you see her in a tankini running for a wave pool, just get out of the way. The best part about that is I have 3 sisters, so you never know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, nice. Cover your
Well, one of them like looks like Anne Frank, so it's not her, but the other 2. She does. She looks like a 13-year-old little Jewish girl.
Okay. I always wondered, there's something slightly Jewish about you. I couldn't put my finger on it.
Is it because I get nauseous a lot? Or
Maybe.
complain? Or, well, my dad took a DNA test, and it turns out he's not 100% that bitch. But he found out that he is 10% Ashkenazi Jew.
Oh, really?
I probably pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry. Not a lot of Ashkenazis in Holstein, Iowa. But so that was a fun surprise. So, I mean, at most, there's 5% in me.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to be Jewish. Better than being fucking raised Catholic.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
My
I
friend and I
agree.
were just talking about the other day. We were like, we can't believe people still go to church. I mean, do what you want, but I just am. And I was like, I don't. When I was being raised Catholic, I didn't go to Catholic school because we lived in fucking hillbilly USA. But had I lived somewhere that had one, I would have went to. So I don't know. Maybe I would have gotten a better education, but I digress. But the whole time I was growing up and doing like that, like CCD is what we called it. You know, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, this is fucking dumb. It's ultra conservative.
Yeah.
And I have no idea why we're a part of it. Because my parents are like holding on to like how the Catholic Church used to be, I think.
Mm.
Where like people like cared about poor people, you know,
Right.
Jesus things. And now it's just crazy. And I was like, once I got confirmed in high school, I was pretty much over it. I mean, my parents like made me go to church, but I was like, this is fucking stupid. No. And then after the Trump election, 2016 election, there was this like stat in the New York Times that 52% of people that identified as Catholics in the United States voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm done. I don't need to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Like, this is disgusting. And my dad and I actually had like a big fight about it. Because I think, to my dad's defense, he just doesn't want to give up. But fuck that.
Well, it goes back to that whole there's nothing it's not a poor reflection of character if you admit to being wrong about something or admit that something outward is a flaw that you were following. That's not a reflection on you. That's a failing on that institution.
I just don't understand how you can believe in that shit. It's fucking mind-boggling to me.
Well, I'm a fucking flaming atheist, so
Well, Chris
I hate
was
all
raised Mormon.
Oh. Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
And some of his family members are still active members
Yeah.
in the church.
Yeah.
I am 5th generation Mormon.
Are you from Minnesota, though?
No, he's
no.
from Oregon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where in Oregon?
We were like 30 minutes outside of Portland.
St.
Where?
Helens.
So if you think of like Portland as
Tell
a
me.
square,
I lived in Portland for 6 months, remember,
Yeah.
bitch?
so St. Helens,
Yes.
right on the Columbia River.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I drove through Oregon like when I left. And I
Do you
was
know where Vancouver, Washington is?
Yeah, bitch, I did comedy there all the time.
Okay, perfect. So we were right across the river from there.
It's by the airport?
No. So Vancouver was across
Yes.
the way. You had to go, like, there wasn't a direct bridge that would get you there. You had to go this roundabout way to get to Vancouver. But
What was
if
your
you
town
were
called?
St. Helens or Columbia City or Scappoose, you're by.
Scapoopies.
Scapoopies?
When I was a little itty baby, I was in Beaverton.
Well, I know that one because that's where all the whites live. I was going to ask you, is it like Gresham adjacent?
I was just gonna say Gresham. Yeah. Gresham's not too far away either.
Yeah. Yeah, Oregon's a weird place.
It is a weird place.
It's
Chris
very
wants
weird.
to live there still, though.
I mean,
if that's your home, my home's Iowa and I have no fucking desire to live there ever again. But
well, the thing
I'm
with
I'm
Oregon,
a rare case.
Oregon, you get all the seasons. You have the ocean there.
I don't know though. That fucking like rain when it's like all these leaves are just wet and like it's just every fucking day. It's like
And yeah, you have the ocean there. You can't do anything in that
With
ocean.
it,
It's fucking cold.
even in like July, it's like
freezing.
50 degrees.
Yeah. So if I'm going to be by ocean, I'm
Like-
going to be by ocean I can actually enjoy.
Yeah.
So you go to Southern Oregon.
It's still
Oh, where the
fucking
water's
cold.
55 degrees now.
Yeah.
It's cold. The Pacific's just cold in general.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, I went there. And
I'd
I,
rather
touched it. I
deal
was
with.
like, okay.
I'd rather deal with the rain than the -40.
Well, I agree with you. But I do like snowstorms.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I hate driving in snow. It makes
I
me
hate
I
anxious.
don't want
snowstorms.
driving it, but I like when things are like shut down and just seeing it like continually like I don't know. I like it.
Oh, interesting.
But you live in like an apartment, so you don't have to like
I
snow blow.
I did have to
like an apartment, so you don't have to like
I
snow
didn't.
blow.
I did have to snow. I snow blow. I had to shovel. I didn't have a fucking snow blower. Sometimes our neighbor would be nice and do like part of it, but
you had to do the rest.
yeah. But this year I won't have to. Thank God. So bring it on.
I did all the snow blowing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's not fun. But I like It's, it's an excuse not to fucking do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get to our favorite segment in 3, 2, 1.
Picked sour Viking stuff. The stuff that was all like fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like
one time we ate dried
marshmallow.
crickets. One time we ate dried like broccoli florets that were so dry and disgusting. We've had some pretty gross shit.
Gross.
It's to try
crickets.
I probably like picked the best
the
one.
Safest,
maybe I should have.
Safest pick. So sour Viking, it's strawberry, pear, cherry, black, currant.
So there's different flavors in there?
Yes, there's different flavors. You don't want me to read it? Non-GMO, no synthetic flavors, no added high fructose corn syrup, and it's vegan friendly. It is from IKEA. When we bought these chairs, we got them at IKEA. It says, meet Sven, our Swedish Viking. Sven and his friends lived during the Viking Age. Anyway, it's probably just like Sour Patch Kids, but
so
Vikings.
Don't dig into the bag. Just drop one into your hand.
I get it. I just washed my hands anyway.
I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I'm fucked.
We're all gonna die someday anyway. Take me out.
That's so funny. I just said drop it into your hand, and you went, I know, and then you dug into the bag.
I pushed it up and grabbed one, you asshole.
I don't even.
We're not gonna sell our house. It's your fault.
These do not look like what I thought they would.
They're Vikings. This one stinks.
So you sniff, and then we're all gonna try it at the same time.
Oh,
that is a weird smell.
It is.
Why does it smell like vinegar?
That's what I thought it smelled like too.
Okay.
It's the non-GMOs.
So what am I supposed to like lick at?
No. So we already did the sniff. Smells weird. All right,
smells
ready?
like vinegar.
Ow. That's fine.
It is very sour.
It's very sour.
Is it?
Ooh. But you get past that.
Oh, I'm getting up. I
like
must have got a different one, you guys.
Maybe.
Because now it's getting really sour.
My mouth is so puckered it hurts.
It's like when you have a what are those things called?
Dildos.
No. The air warheads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember being a kid and having those. Like sometimes I had to like take it out and be like, "Whoo!"
And then you feel like it tears apart your mouth.
Yeah. This is all in my teeth.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to work my glory hole later?
That's a good point. Speaking of which, what would you say is the gayest aspect about you?
My voice, maybe.
You do have a pretty gay voice.
Excuse me, I'm dying. But do you know that I think I have like a normal? I know I have like a faggy voice, obviously, because I have to record myself. But like, I straight up believe that I have like a normal kind of, I would say like dykey adjacent, like woman who plays rugby voice. Like it's definitely not masculine, but like there.
Okay.
And that's just not the case at all.
Yeah, no, you're kind of like
I feel like every time you say Dikey, you look at me. Do you get the softball vibe from me? Because I did play softball.
No,
high
I mean, I'm
school.
just looking at you because you're across the room from me.
he just knows how to make eye contact.
I'm going to have one more of these.
I know. I was going to have one more too.
Here, go ahead.
Puff, puff, pass.
Puff, puff, pass. Here.
Yeah, my favorite thing about you when I asked you how I've been trying to get you on here for months.
Well, you canceled on me.
Has been trying to get on you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
slow down, Chris.
Come over.
But that was my favorite thing.
I didn't douche though, so you better get a couple towels.
Oh, my Viking is missing his other horn.
But my favorite thing about you was the just vile shit that you would say.
I love saying vile shit.
Because my other gay friends are they're just so sweet is the only way that I can think of
then
how they speak.
They must have had encouraging parents because
That one was good.
They did have very encouraging parents.
or are they sweet or are they fake?
No, they're sweet.
Who's sweet? I missed out. Sorry.
I was saying most of my gay friends.
Are these Becker gays?
Does Becker have any gays?
Becker's got some gays.
Do you have a Catholic church?
There's a Catholic church. It's like the main
Well,
church
then
in
you
town.
have at least one.
So,
Chris got to hang out with that priest one time.
I bet he did. Was he walking funny the next time?
I was.
Did he have to wear a
funny the
pad
next
in
day.
his underwear?
Did you spend 1 day or 2 days with this guy?
2 days.
Damn. Mm-hmm. Bless yourself and genuflect.
I'm like, he doesn't even believe in God. Why does he keep fucking this guy?
Well, just because you believe it doesn't mean you get to be like mean to priests. I mean, that's like another thing. Like,
No, I'm not
You don't
saying
just,
that.
like-
I'm like, why is he,
yeah, why is his dick in your mouth?
Exactly.
Chris?
It's a good point. For one, tastes great. Does excellent self-care.
Lots of holy water.
He's got all
on
that
it.
time on his hands.
Do you think he douches with holy water?
I think he does.
Well, he doesn't need to. Is he bottoming? I think Chris is bottoming.
Yeah.
So Chris needs to douche, but
But no, I would like what I was saying was
your wife looks confused.
is like
She's like,
how my other gay friends are always like really sweet and nice and like go out of their way
I'm
to
sweet and fucking nice. People are just fucking babies. What, should I walk around like, hi, how are you? Oh my God, so good. Like, fuck you. I want to talk about like what's up. Like I'm real.
That's what I'm saying.
not fucking
Hey.
fake. Yes.
Let's talk about Brittany. Do you think she needs...
Hold on, can we pause so I can pee?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go right ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll come back to Brittany.
Oh my God.
Brittany.
We're talking about Brittany. I don't even know what we were talking about Brittany.
I just brought her
Well,
up.
the new news. So people were freaked out that she was in trouble, and there was all these conspiracy theories that she was like giving signs that she was looking for help.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, just to bring everyone up to speed. So like, we all know what happened in like 2007, 2008. Finally, they put her under conservatorship so she could, I assume, so she could just focus on her career and not have to worry about, and clearly I just think she's just one of these people that's like literally been working since they were like 12.
Yep.
And doesn't even know like, and also she's never, I mean, she was poor growing up, but she's never as an adult had to like budget or do anything. I'm not saying she's, blowing her money, but I'm sure was some of that going on. And I think another part of it was she was just being used by people.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. So whatever, fast forward, she seems to be doing fine. And now I guess what I've read in the rumor is that her meds stopped working. But that could also be like, the thing is like, you never know who's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But basically it sounds like she just doesn't want anything to do with her dad anymore. I think her dad was a shitty father growing up.
I think so too, yeah.
And
Really, her mom was there for everything.
well, and I think her dad was an alcoholic and it was just not good. So, and then I'm assuming once she became a artist on her own, she kind of was like, whatever, I'm leaving and not my problem.
Yeah.
And then, so I think whatever, they got along, but I think I don't know. I just don't think she wants to be, from what I've read. So she filed these documents to have a independent, like conservative thing, the state of California run it, not her dad.
Oh.
And because it just sounds like she just doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
She's just done. And it sounds like maybe she wants this just because, she's not married. She's not, it's just her. So maybe she just wants like,
and her dad
Well, she's got
physically
kids
assaulted
too, right?
one of her children.
Yeah.
So she like,
yeah, I
there's
think
that
she's just
issue
over it.
too.
And so it sounds like she just wants to do that. And the other rap I've heard is she just is not going to work until this is all done because she doesn't want to make any more money.
Oh.
Because she doesn't want it going to like other people and, her dad. So she's like, fuck it. I just like, because I read this article that she was supposed to show up to this, like, they did this like pop-up thing in LA called Britney in the Zone. And it was like all these different rooms of her
Yes.
albums, like different themes. And she signed a contract. She literally just had to show up. I don't even know how long it was, for $1 million. And she
Whoa.
didn't do it because she didn't even want that. She's like, I don't want a fucking cent. Because I'm assuming it all comes in and then it goes to, her agent, the typical,
Yeah.
which is just normal show business stuff. I mean, you can't, when people are like, celebrities made, they made $95 million on this tour. I'm like, they really made like, I don't know. Just it really depends, but it's not 95.
You gotta think of the dancers,
catering,
venues.
the people you're taking on the road with you, how much it costs to build that fucking thing, the drugs, the cocaine, the hookers. I mean, things get crazy.
Yeah.
So then you're left with
all the B12 shots,
$17 at the end of it. But hey, but I think like a lot of it's being taken out. And another thing that's like kind of creepy to me, or like just doesn't seem fair at all, is she's paying a lot of money in legal fees.
Oh.
For all this shit.
Right.
So it's just like taking money out.
Oh, wow.
Because it just sounds like... And they also said something like... So another thing that just happened was Jamie Lynn, I'm assuming at Britney's request, asked to be in charge of her trustees so that, God forbid anything happens, Britney's kids are protected.
Who's Jamie Lynn?
Her sister, her younger sister.
Her younger sister,
okay,
who was famous, but sounds like she kind of just was over it and left.
She married some guy, has some babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I mean, she hasn't been in the limelight for a long time.
I mean, I'm sure what happened with her sister was like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, she got pregnant.
Well, she did get pregs, probably because her parents were too busy dealing with Britney. So she was, whatever. But so Jamie Lynn filed documents to be in charge.
It's like that second sister that tries to get famous. It's like there's Jessica Simpson and then there's Ashley Simpson.
Ashley Simpson was my first concert. And it was horrible.
I love Ashley.
Really? I loved her. I mean, she's not
alive.
I remember my sister had to take like me and my sister, and she said it was like the worst night of her life.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, she was like 27, so she was like...
Oh. What was not good about the concert?
I mean, it was fine. It was my first concert, so I thought it was cool. But looking back, I'm like, it was kind of ghetto. I mean, she couldn't even sell out like the Sioux City like 10,000 seat arena thing.
Oh,
like it was like half full. Yeah, but anyways, so basically, she filed to be in charge of Britney's trust, and then I was reading that to us, this is crazy amount of money, but Britney has like $57 million. I'm like, I feel like she should have a lot more than that.
Because she did that residency in Vegas.
And she's like always on tour, and she has perfumes, and she has like
Crossroads.
Yeah. And like, so she should have like, in my book, like shouldn't she have like over $200 million?
Yeah, she should have a
It just seems like that's
a
low ass number.
I used to only buy her perfume forever.
Yeah. It just seems like a really low number for someone who's worked in the biz and been successful most of her 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, even when she was crazy, she was successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't
If not more, people were paying more attention.
I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But, I just, like, at the end of it, I just hope, like, she can just, like, live her life. And, like, I hope she keeps all her money. I mean, I don't know. That's weird to me that she only has $57 million.
Yeah.
Out of all the shit she's done.
Yeah, that does sound insanely low.
And she can't even spend any money.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
She legally can't spend any money at all. She can't drive.
What? Yeah.
Did you see that part of that documentary people are posting where, like, right after she had a breakdown? So fucking sad. Where they brought her to her Corvette or her whatever it was.
They let her drive.
They let her drive down the road. She hadn't driven in probably since her breakdown.
She went to the hospital.
Oh my God.
Well, because she was used
like crying.
To just like
she just said she loved to just get in her car and just drive.
And that's I think when she got in trouble because that's when she started like.
Well, she threw her kid in the front seat of the car.
She was like with the paparazzi a lot in LA during her breakdown. I think she got really manic and went around town, and that's how she met like the guy who was taking advantage of her, and she was dating one of them, and like paparazzi people literally were at that time in the culture, like you could get a picture of her doing whatever and live like for a month or 2 or 3, whatever. So like they were probably like manipulating her so they could get more access to her. So it's sad.
Yeah.
It just
like sometimes watching her videos on Instagram, you're just like, oh.
Oh no. I mean, there's definitely, I'm not going to say that she's like, there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
But
she still should have legal access to her money.
Yeah, she still should be able to do what she wants. I mean,
because I work with some pretty mentally ill people, and they can go out and get a job. They can drive their cars. They have access to their own money. They may have like a rep payee that helps them manage their bills and all that, but they still have access to being able to do things where she is literally stuck in her mansion by herself.
Yeah, it's sad.
With the same 3
and you don't like
flower
ever
tops.
see ever see her kids around.
Not anymore.
And like, yeah.
And the boyfriend pops in here and there once in a while.
The boyfriend who's clearly using her for his image because he's like my age and he's like pretty much a gay guy because he's like ripped and just is constantly posting like nude photos basically.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, I'm sure you're really in love with this 38-year-old mom of 2.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure. So
and they've been together for years. I
don't know. Maybe he's nice for her, but
no, I get where you're going.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking. Like I say, I wasn't born yesterday. Some of these people, when they do these things, they like think, like with the whole social media thing, like they put up like some picture and they think they look so fucking hot, and they like want you to think it's for another reason and not that. And I'm like, no, you're doing this for like validation and whatever, which fine, but like just don't act like that's about something else.
So like people that post like pictures and they put all these quotes underneath.
Yeah,
and all that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I just fucking I can't.
Yeah,
I cannot. So yeah, that's basically. I mean, what I want to talk about. What you want to talk about? You want to talk about Britney?
Well, because you came in wearing a Britney mask. So.
Well, yeah, and I just read about it because I'm just interested.
I am too.
Yeah,
and I watch your videos a lot, and I work as a mental health nurse, so I see when people are not doing well, and you can see in her eyes like she's just not.
Well, her voice is like, "Hi guys, I'm
gonna answer some questions."
Oh, that's the fucking best when she's like, a lot of people have been asking me these questions, so I'm gonna answer them, and they're like, none of them are the questions that we're asking.
No, I look back, I'm like, who's asking what your favorite fucking color is?
What's your, my favorite color, and she like moves her head, and like, it looks like she's on like maybe a lot of uppers or something because she's moving like. Hi guys, like she's like some college kid on Adderall. Like she is.
It's very Michael Jackson, like the way that.
Well, and it's same thing. It's just these. I think these people who. I mean, Michael Jackson was like severely abused
for sure.
Yeah. So, but I think it's just like when you grow up and you're famous at like whatever, you just like. I literally think because like. I think when you're like. Famous for a certain point, I think you just start to lose it and you don't even know like which way. I mean, I can only assume living like that, not being able to leave your house without people chasing you and getting out of your car and have people
in your face. Like, and then you watch some of these paparazzis almost take people right off the road.
Oh, and with like if you go back and you just like Google like or you do like Britney Spears paparazzi moments 2007, 2008, like they literally just. Like she'll like pull into a place, whatever, and they will literally like make a circle around her car, and I don't know how it is today because it has to be a little different, with Instagram and stuff. But I know there's still paparazzi.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if it's like that, like that's crazy.
It is.
But that was like the culture, It was like Paris Hilton was going to jail and Lindsay Lohan was
doing something,
whatever. It's like that was the culture back then. It was like. Let's get these people who are acting like assholes and make money, and they did. But
yeah. I want to be an asshole and make money off of it.
Right?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's tough because you wonder how much, parents. I'm curious to see like what changes in a parent's mind when they see their child rise to stardom.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I'm trying to get Layla TikTok
and how
famous,
skewed their parental role must become eventually to be like, well, she seems fine. Let's just keep doing this, and I'll be there, and because I'm there, she'll be able to do 100 interviews in a week, and like.
It's funny watching the parents lose it though. Like I'm going to talk about Jessica Simpson's dad and how he like.
By the way, I remember watching like the Newlyweds, or the Ashley Simpson show, and being like.
What is wrong with their dad?
I think there's something up with their dad. I couldn't pinpoint it at that age, but I was like, with the fucking blonde frosted hair.
Yes,
and
he's
then
a minister.
And he was a minister, which is code for I take dick in the Minneapolis St. Paul
And then
bathroom,
guess what happened?
Airport bathroom. And now he's like gay as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
And a photographer,
And like,
I didn't know that.
I don't even know if they have a relationship. I mean,
I don't know if they. I read her book.
Well, I did too. I didn't get through all of it though, but
I did the audiobook.
Yeah.
And she does talk about her relationship with her dad.
Oh, so maybe it's better. Yeah. I mean, not that Jessica's homophobic or anything, but she's probably just like, really? Because he didn't let her do a lot of things.
And he talked a lot about her boobs, which is really fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, because gay guys, like, I could be like, yeah, your tits look good. And, like, no one's... Well,
but your daughter...
Well, yeah, I'm not from fucking Texas and weird and a minister.
That's true.
I don't know.
And I'm sure he had a huge effect on their marriage, Nick and her. But Nick was also an asshole too.
Yeah.
I didn't like him. I still don't like him. I just like.
Why are you getting married at like 22?
To have sex. Remember?
Get fucked.
Well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Now her dad's
you got to
like
test drive
like
the car before you buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I test drove this car a lot before I bought it.
Ew.
Did you crash it?
A lot.
Is it totaled?
Yeah. Never change the oil.
I'll change your oil.
Check that dipstick.
Give me 5 minutes. Get a tarp in here and a turkey baster. I don't know.
Chris has a tarp story, not about him, but
I mean,
I don't need to hear it.
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say
it's really gross.
Anyone else but myself.
I'm sorry. When's the last time you do you date?
Well, so I'm like in a weird period where I know I'm not going to stay in Minneapolis for that much longer.
Oh.
Okay.
And no one's looking for me, so no, I'm not dating. I'm just not. Gay guys aren't that into me.
Okay.
I don't know. I just and whatever.
Maybe you're just in the wrong gay community. Minneapolis.
I think I just
it.
haven't found a guy that understands. Like he's really a really sweet guy, and he just puts on a, whatever. But I don't know. A lot of gay guys are also damaged from like their daddy issues.
Oh sure.
So they want a dad, or they want a dad. Well, someone want a dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they do want a dad.
But I think, and my dad wasn't perfect, but he was pretty fucking, like, compared to other people's parents, my parents were amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't perfect and they're annoying, but like, I think a lot of these gay guys just have like bad issues with men.
Yeah.
And it just kind of spills over. They want a guy to like take care of them.
Mm.
Where it's like, what?
Take care of yourself.
Why can't you take care of yourself? Like, I'm happy, like to take out for dinner sometimes. I mean, I'm poor as fuck, but even if I was like rich, I wouldn't want just like some hanger on. Like, where the fuck's your job? Like, what are you doing to make your impact in the world? Yeah, there's a lot of that.
It's one thing that
and I'm annoying. So, I mean, that's the main probably problem.
It's one thing that I'm like curious about too is why is it so common in the gay community for like there to be a massive age gap? Because
daddy issues.
Is that what you think it is?
Yeah, they want. I mean, listen. There's a whole. Can be a whole lots of reasons. You could have. I don't know them personally because I'm just not interested. But like, I know like some kid that just literally lives off this old rich person. And like, I remember one time I was like around them and I asked him like what he was doing for a job. And he was like, I was like, what are you gonna do with your future? And he's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, you're 23 years old and you're living with this old guy and he's probably going to dump you when you're like 27. I mean, let's just be real, because he has an issue. I mean, I also think I've been with all different types of guys, so I'm not like being prude, but I do think it's kind of gross when it's like clearly you only date like young people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's clearly something there. Creepy. And yeah. So I don't know if I can like, I guess why is there always, because there's plenty of people, gay people I know that are like same age,
I'm not saying it's
2
like
years or whatever.
I'm just saying
I do think there's more of an acceptable leeway for gay men and maybe women, I don't know, but women always get the short end of the stick.
Right.
But then straight people, because like with straight people, it's like there's a girl involved and you never know if the guy's like taking advantage of her or, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Chris is always taking advantage of me.
I would too. But I don't know. It's probably daddy issues. Probably they want someone to take care of them. I fantasize like every like 30 minutes about having a sugar daddy, but then I'm like, I don't want someone like having control over me.
Yeah,
like I'll just stay poor.
Yeah, well, and
I'll
feel
just
like
eat alone in my room in the dark.
It would be like an opportunistic thing where you go, okay, I got what I need, and then now I'm gonna be my own support system. Like, thanks for the alley-oop, but
and I'm sure that's their end game. Again, wasn't born yesterday. Like, that's basically what I say whenever I see any of these queens doing anything. I'm like, you're not clever. I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're not the first, and you won't be the last. There's plenty of twinks coming right behind you, honey. Before you know it, you're 28 years old in a basement in Becker doing the podcast.
It's a lower
being
level.
Alone. No. Yeah, people and like gay guys always make snide comments like, oh, you don't have a boyfriend, you're just jealous. I'm like, no, I actually don't want to fucking settle for a shitty guy because I need people to think there's plenty of fucking people I could date. I don't fucking want to.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to. I'm not interested. So why would I do that?
Well,
I fucking hate people, dude. I just do.
You're awesome. And I just want to say thank you for doing
You're
this.
beautiful. Oh.
It's
My parents
true.
make love to that song. I'm just kidding.
What are your social media handles? Like, where can people see more of you?
I don't have like any clever social media names, but my Instagram is Riley Cosgrove with 2 E's at the end because some fucking 14-year-old bitch from Massachusetts named Riley Cosgrove, who's probably like 18 now, but like she's a girl and I'm gonna find her and she's gonna pay. Fucking cunt. If you're listening to me, Riley Cosgrove, I was here first. So if she stole it. Okay, because one time I had just Riley, straight up Riley Cosgrove, and then I decided to change my Instagram to like Thad Spears or something gay, and then I was like, okay, I'm over.
Thad?
Because my first real name is Thaddeus.
What?
My middle name is Riley. My dad's first name is Thaddeus. They never called me it, and it's a fucked up name, and no one knows how to spell it, and I can't sign it. So.
I feel like you should be ruling over an empire with that name.
I'm gonna be ruling over
Cosgrove the Third.
Yeah, you should see my dad. He's so with this fucking robe on in the morning, no underwear. This one of my this girl from Holsey messaged me. My parents got a dog. Like I post about her all the time. And they got a dog, and she goes, "Your dog got out, and I saw your dad in his underwear or in his robe." And she just sent the emoji with like the eyes. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's a sight, isn't it?
Is your dad packing some heat?
No, he has a small penis. My mom told my college friends that one, so I was like, that's unnecessary. She's like, he doesn't have a big penis. Trust me. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna kill myself. All right, well, that was fun. I'm gonna fucking tie a cinder block to myself and go down into the lake. Yeah, so he's not packing heat, and I'm not packing heat either. Maybe that's why. I mean, I'm not like I don't have like microphallus, but I'm fine. Like, you know,
Sure.
how do you have a big penis and like get on an elliptical?
That's a really good question.
I'm being 100% serious.
That's a handicap.
I wear compression shorts for like mainly anytime I wear gym shorts. I just wear compression shorts because I don't want like my dick out.
Sure.
But again, apparently in the gay community, that's a thing. Just have your dick out. Also, like my dick is like a turtle when it's not hard. So like it's not just gonna be like fucking like these
Flopping all over the place.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Also, I don't want it flopping around ever. So
Right.
I want it nice and contained, and it's like a push-up bra. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Or not push-up bra, sports bra. Excuse me.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Yeah. Like I don't want my dick out, but like so, I'm fine with that. But
Okay.
apparently, you need a monster cock to make it. Let's talk about one more thing because I'm gonna sass about it, and I want. So I just want to know, like, from your perspective as a straight guy.
Okay.
So I was talking to this other guy, and we met at a comedy festival in Washington D.C. And he wasn't body shaming. He's literally met me once. So how could he know that I'm a disgusting sweat beast? Because you can't tell over social media. I look beautiful. And he was telling me that he like posted like some pictures I wouldn't post. A little thirsty, but good for her. And
Yeah.
I was like, God, your body, like literally, like it's like he has one of these bodies, like every muscle's showing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, what did you do? Because you were not like that when I met you. And he said he basically was just realized that in the gay community, or in the world in general, but mainly the gay community, just looks and hot guys just go farther.
Yeah.
And he said, I just realized that you just are going to get more clicks and stuff if you're hot. So I just kind of face the music and I'm just dealing with it. And like, he's not wrong. He's 100% right. But at first I was like, I remember thinking like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, it is show business. But then I like thought about that again, like the next day. And I was like, That's so fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
straight guys can literally look homeless.
I love when they look homeless. That's my type.
And
the
like,
dirtier,
it's
the
fine.
greasier. Yeah.
And then like, I have to like, you know, supposedly, which is not true, but you know,
I had way.
it's weird. It's weird because this is how I feel.
Okay.
And this goes back, like, I feel like, again, I'm not, people are going to hear this and think I'm fucking complaining, which, whatever, that's their problem. But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it how it is. It's no secret that, because women go through this all the time in comedy, that the straight guys are always just going to have each other's backs. And they're always going to be giving each other shit. Because they're all gay with each other pretty much anyways. And they want this person to love them or whatever. And so I feel like, okay, it's like I have to fight harder to get like just in general population. We'll just call straight people like just general population.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so I need like my gay to like pump me up, whatever. But if I'm not, you know, fucking look like, you know,
I get what you're
Chris
going.
Hemsworth,
Yeah.
I'm fucked. So it's like,
I'd say you're more of
I'm
like
should I become lesbian? Should I get a canoe? Should I do woodworking in my garage? Like, what should I do?
You're more like a gay Lance Armstrong, I would say.
I wish I only had one ball. It's one less thing I had to tuck in my compressor shorts. Lance Armstrong's like fit though. And
Yeah. Well,
gay Lance Armstrong.
When you're biking,
I'm
you
not
look,
like this hardcore biker. I just want everyone to know this.
okay.
I'm not
Well,
like,
you posted it felt like every day for I don't know, like a month. You were posting photos
was
of
it
you
last
biking.
summer? Because I was doing a ride last summer, so that was different.
Okay.
I would have done it this year, but it was canceled.
Right.
So that was different. But
Okay.
no, I'm not like. But that just goes to show you, like on social media, I can be whoever I want.
I know.
But
I know.
I'm really like.
That's like when people
I'm a
at
biker,
first,
but I'm really like fucking disgusting and really out of
when
shape.
we would talk to people at first, they'd be like, you and Chris are relationship goals. And it's like, man, if they saw us screaming at each other and fighting, like we're not. We are very much normal couple. Like we, I mean, we support each other. We argue. We like each other. I mean, but at the end of the day, we're
not
going to have
normal.
this. That's normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not a goal. Like no one's a goal. I hate that.
Yeah.
Everyone's relationship sucks.
So I think when we were having all, like when Chris went to treatment and we were having all these issues, people were like, oh my God, they are real people. Yeah.
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 And I barely like him like every other married couple. I'm just kidding. I really do.
I mean,
like
but
him.
like, I can't. I mean, one of like, I just can't imagine. If I ever actually find someone willing to marry me, I don't know if I can share a bed.
Oh.
I'm such a spoiled brat.
Oh, I thought it's because you're so long that you literally can't share.
I mean, that doesn't help.
You have to like sleep crooked.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'm like, it might have to be like one of those couples, which usually gay guys do this so they can fuck other dudes. But
just get a bunk bed.
I'm going to get a dorm. A dorm bed. We're gonna sleep like this.
My grandparents did that. They had
Also,
2 sleep number beds right next to each other with a thing in between.
I don't even want to be in the same room, especially if you snore. I just don't have time for it. Do you snore?
Oh, so bad.
So apparently I snore sometimes, but not all the time. But I remember I went to a bachelor party and I woke up at like 6 a.m. and I looked over, my friend was just like this staring at me. And I was like, what? He goes, you're fucking snoring? Like, I thought you were a rhino.
And the thing is like, we get mad that
like,
they're snoring, but you
wake me
can't
up.
help it. I know. I try and push Chris on his side because it's always when he's on his back. And I'm like, fuck. And
I
then
know, my dad snores like that. And I'm like, I don't know how the fuck my mom puts up with that.
I'm like, how is he still breathing? Sometimes then he'll do the and you're like,
it's
this
so
is it.
gross.
He's dying.
I think snoring noise is like one of my least favorite things on earth.
Oh, it's like when you're trying, and then when it wakes you up, but doesn't wake the person that's doing it up. You're like, what the fuck? Like, and then I try and push him, and of course, like doing this doesn't get him on his side. And like, you're snoring. It's so loud. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
but it's deep. I love you. He used to talk in his sleep a lot, like very like descriptive. Like one time he was playing that one video game. What was it?
Skyrim,
looking for arrows. Do you know where the arrow is? He's just like yelling. I'm like, what the fuck? What is he dreaming about?
I was about to shoot a guy and I ran out of bows in my quiver.
I don't have any cool dreams. My dreams are so fucking dumb. They're like lame. They're like, I'm back. I have like this dream.
You have like a dream that you wake up and go to work every day. Like,
yeah.
That kind of
Oh,
boring
I hate
dream.
those dreams.
No, I have a dream like I'm like back in high school. And they're like, you have to do this again. I'm like,
I have the dream. This is my 2 dreams.
It's probably like, that was probably like really traumatizing
Yes.
to me and I didn't even realize it.
I have dreams a lot that I'm in high school and I'm not going to graduate and I can't
Yes.
remember my fucking locker combo.
Oh, I went to a small school. We didn't have a locker room.
Oh. Do you had lockers though?
You guys just had horse stables?
Burlap sacks. No, we had lockers, but no one fucking stole anything. Also, what were you going to steal from me?
Your pride.
Yeah, that's gone. I don't think I was.
The jam that your mom made on the farm?
My mom, no, we weren't on a farm and she doesn't make jam.
Maybe your fancy shoes, your Doc Martens, were they going to steal those?
I'm not as old as you. I wasn't wearing Doc Martens.
I was wearing Converse. I couldn't afford Doc
What year did you
Martens.
graduate high school?
2005.
Okay. Could be worse.
No, I know. You're 2010, right?
11.
11. Oh, you're a baby.
Yeah, we could be like David Harris and graduated in the 70s.
David Harris graduated, well, yeah. Yeah, I think he graduated maybe like 80. Come on.
When we were born.
Come on. This was muy fun.
Dude,
who knows what I said.
If we didn't have a fucking showing, I would just keep letting this go on, but we just have to have you come back again.
Round 2.
Yeah.
After the elections, when Biden wins, then we can be like, remember when we talked about fucking Trump and now he's burst?
Yeah, you were saying, oh, we're going to move this. And I started I was like, this is wallpaper.
It is wallpaper.
You're fucked. You're going to have to build it out.
Oh,
well,
we have
it's
extra.
like
It's from
stick-on
Target.
stuff,
It's like
so.
super. I was already
So
pulling
we
at
have to
it.
do
This looks
is
like
it's
see?
peel and stick.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
It's
This
just
was
like,
a test of our
it's
marriage
very
to put it up.
Like, I want to
Do you feel like you're in a nail salon right now?
Yes, like a hair salon. Yes, 100%. That's what I was trying to get, but I was trying to
Chris said that.
1989, yeah.
Chris wanted color in here, and I wouldn't let him paint the walls. So
Like
this
an
is
illegal nail salon. God damn it, Riley, you're so much fun.
Oh my God, just put your dick in me already.
All
I'll
right.
step out. Chris is.
You can watch.
Much like fitting that ship into a bottle.
I don't understand that reference.
Oh, I'm going to fit my tiny penis inside of your massive hole, is what I was trying to say.
Well, it's
you see the cavity
fit,
there?
Fit is the wrong word. Because I just think it's going to be an issue. My asshole's like that well on the ring. Like, remember if you fall in it or whatever, you die or the girl comes out? I don't remember.
Yeah, something
That's
like
my
that.
asshole.
So creepy girl's gonna come right out of your ass.
Yeah, if you watch my stand-up for 5 minutes or more, a creepy girl crawls out of my asshole and comes to your house and murders you.
Cool. I'm gonna watch it then for sure.
Do it. Were you at the roast?
No,
I don't think I've ever met you.
Someone has to actually take care of our kids.
Why can't they just...
Well, now they can watch themselves, but before they couldn't.
How old's the older one?
11.
Okay, he's getting there.
He's getting there. He has a family phone that he can use, but no, one of us had to be a parent and the other one
Is he going into 5th grade or going into 6th grade?
He's in 6th grade.
Okay, so he's soon.
Yeah.
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 He's probably
soon
more
he'll be
mature
banging
than...
hoes and...
God, maybe we need to not buy that other house because all I keep thinking is like going to be teenagers and there's an exit door right down. Like it's a Rambler, so upper level, lower level with a walkout. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know I was sneaking in Chris's lower level.
Ew, you guys are like high school lovers.
Just out of high school.
We got married when we were 19.
Wait, so when did you come to Minnesota?
When I was 13.
Okay.
So he's been in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been in Minnesota a grip. Longer than I've been in
Yeah,
other states.
isn't that weird? You used to be like, I'm from Oregon, and now it's like... I was in Iowa for like 25 years, so it's going to take a long time before I'm like, I'm finally out!
I'm
fucked.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I had a little stroke there.
Did you just come?
I did.
I can
That is
smell
the
it.
sound that...
Yeah, be happy you
It's
don't.
that
Like my sister in Des
chlorine
Moines
bleach, right?
has 3 boys. Yeah.
Lots of crunchy socks. Is that what you're talking about?
Did you do that when you were growing up? Did you masturbate into a sock?
Yeah.
I never did that.
Well, I
Do you
mean...
wanna- I would usually just masturbate. This is so gross. I hope my parents
Please.
don't listen to this. Or whatever. Who cares? But like I used to like just do it in my gym shorts.
Okay.
Like I just like... And then I would take them off. And they would just be like, oh, I'm sure. My mom had to have like... Why is there a crunchy part only on my crotch? But in my mind, I was like, okay, like it'll just go in the wash and no one will know about it. I have like such shame. Like we have like such shame about sex, you know? Because, you know, this fucking shitty country's horrible.
Yeah.
Because no one has it. But there's so like, and I didn't have like older brothers. So I was like it just like masturbating was always like so dirty to me. But I never did like...
It was literally a sin when I was growing up.
Yeah, like I never did like the sock thing. Like,
I didn't even know that anything came out originally.
I didn't want like it hanging around my room.
Right.
I want like out here, skedaddle,
be lost. Yeah,
get
I gotcha.
lost, girl. Like I think
it was just the most. I think it's because it's the closest thing that's the shape. So you have this thing that goes over.
Vomit. I'm literally gonna vomit.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister is about to. I mean, she's in the process, but she's gonna have to move eventually because the house she lives in now is great, and they've done a lot of work to it and made it even better. But you just can't have 3 kids in there and a fucking golden retriever, and
yeah,
and they're only gonna start to smell. And her husband like smells when he like runs and like works out. So her husband is like, he's not a smelly guy, but like he has to like shower like twice a day. I don't know, maybe because he's Polish. I don't know if that's, I don't know, but her oldest is like 8, and she's like, he's starting to smell. And I'm like, oh God, I'm not coming over for like 10 years.
Well, Riley, thank you again so much.
Thank you so
the
much.
last thing that we do, our listeners are called ducklings. So we say, au revoir, little ducklings, quack, quack.
Au revoir, little ducklings, quack, quack.
Bye.
Good job.